So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how we edit slides in ProPresenter to get them to where we need to be for the live stream. So we have about 2 or 3 lines per slide in the bottom third of the screen for the live stream. So I have the order of service before me, and one of the songs we're doing first is Hark the Herald Angels Sing / King of Heaven. So I'm going to get that into our playlist by going down to the search down at the bottom here where it says filter, and I'm also here on the ProPresenter 6 library. That's important. That's where all of our songs are. So we go down here and we just search for it. So Hark the Herald. All right, and so we have 2 options. This is one we want. It's King of Heaven. So I'm going to click on this and just drag it into our Sunday morning playlist, and I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to go here. And you see, it definitely does not look how we want it to look. So one of the first things I'm going to do is change the aspect ratio to what we're using for our live stream, which is 1080p. And you can just go up here, NDI to Studio 6, click that, and boom, that changes the aspect ratio. Also, you can see these had backgrounds when we imported them, and obviously it can't find it because those are on another computer. So we need to remove those. So you just go down, remove action, and just got to do that for all of them. Because all of these, a lot of times just one of them will have it. It's just faster, but this one, all of them have the willow light background. So we're going to get rid of that. All right. Now that we've done that, we can actually edit it to get the format we want. And this one hopefully will be easier. I tried to do the other one, which I'm going to show in a second, and it was a little bit harder. But this one, we're going to edit by clicking on it and going up here to the edit button in the toolbar, click on that, and now we're in the edit mode in ProPresenter. There's a lot of things you can do in edit mode in ProPresenter, and you can add the slide, the build, and those do different things. You can watch other videos that ProPresenter has put out to learn that, because we don't really use that a ton. Really what we want to focus on is how we get it formatted to 2 lines per lyric slide. So on the first slide, this is just Hark the Herald Angels Sing, the old Christmas carol, and so it's pretty well known, so you should know it. If you don't know the song, the best thing to do is to listen to it on YouTube as you're editing, or listen to it through once and then go back and edit. That way you know how it sounds, because we want to get the breaks set in a way that makes sense, so you're not having to click super fast or to wait a long time in between the 2 lines in the lyrics. So how we divide these up into 2 lines is actually pretty easy. There's a hard way and an easy way to do it. The hard way would be to, duplicate the slide and then delete 1 line on each, or 2 of the lines on each. This is the easy way. So this doesn't take a ton of time. The big thing is just knowing when you want to break it, where you want to break it on each slide. So this one's easy, right? We have 4 lines. We just want to split it in half. So the way you do that is you click at the end of the second line right here. You hit Option Return or Alt Enter. And what that does, it divides the slides at the point your little cursor was at. So now we have two slides with 2 lines. So go down to the next one, same thing. Option, Enter. And we're going to do this for the whole song. This one's already set for us. So we're going to keep doing this. Option, Enter, Alt, Return. Now this one has 3 lines, so we're going to have to edit it a little bit. We'll do this. We'll combine these 2 lines, put a comma, and we'll just make that lowercase. So that way it's 2 lines. Now, once you've divided all your slides up so that there's 2 lines per slide, or maybe 3, we're ready for the next step. So go back to Show, and we're looking at the whole thing. It's still not exactly how we want it, because the lyrics are centered, and we don't want the lyrics covering up people's faces of the band and stuff. So we're going to go to Theme. So with the first slide selected, go to Theme, and we can change the theme to different styles. So I've created some presets, so we're already good to go. All you have to do is click the first slide and go down. All of these are 2 lines. We want a little bit of a gray background to make the lyrics pop a little bit more so they're easy to read. And we're just going to click that, and you notice, boom, our slides are good to go. So you can click through them just to make sure that nothing got cut off, because one thing with these themes, that if you have 3 lines and you click the 2 lines theme, it's going to cut off that 3rd line and you're not going to see it. So this one is all good to go. So this is actually the 2nd song in our order of service. So we'll put this up here And these were all from last week, pretty much. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to delete all the ones we don't need. This song actually is going to be at the end here, so put that there. That's already formatted, and hopefully a lot of times some of these will already be formatted for you, so you're already good to go. So we've done one song, and we have one song already in here, so that's helpful. So now we have 2 out of the 5 songs or so that we're going to sing on Sunday. One of them's done. Now, some songs are a little more complicated. So the first song we're singing this Sunday is "Oh, What a Glorious Night." You can see I already messed around with this song a little bit. And with this song, we can see there were some that have to have 3. So I'm going to show you how, if you need to have just a couple that have 3, how to do that. And also the chorus is repeated a few times, and I don't want to have to edit the chorus every single time. So to save time, I just left it there, and I'll show you what we're going to do here. Because another really cool thing you can do in ProPresenter is set up different arrangements. So to set up an arrangement, you go to this icon up here at the top, and you can create a new arrangement. Click a new arrangement. Well, actually, we want to click this one to create a new arrangement, and then we can change the name. We'll do First Friday. Spell that right. Hit OK. And now you have an arrangement. Now you can set this up however you want. And this song, none of the slides are labeled. In ProPresenter, you can label every single slide so it tells you what verse it is, if it's a chorus, if it's a bridge, if it's a tag at the end of the song. So we come to the first one. We want this to be verse 1. So you right-click on it. You go down to Label, or to Group, actually. Group, and you just click verse 1. Okay, and that changed everything to verse 1. We don't want everything to be verse 1. We come here. This is the chorus of the song. Go to the group and just hit chorus. So now everything's chorus. Okay, here's the second verse. So you go to the second verse, group, you go verse 2, and you just keep doing this. All right, now you see this chorus is here. I'm just going to leave that there for now. This is a bridge, so make this a bridge. This helps to know some musical terms. You have verses, choruses, bridges, tags, and so this is kind of a last final verse, so we'll call it verse 3. So now we have labeled or put into groups all of these slides. You can see now they're all up here. And we want the chorus to occur twice here at the one I didn't edit. So after verse 2 there's a chorus, and after the bridge there's a chorus. So now once I've done that, I can go over here and I can delete these slides. So now they're not there. And now everything's arranged right. And you could have just done it where you broke down all the choruses and just done it a few different times, or you could just do it once and then remember where they're at. And then sometimes, and hopefully a lot of times, these will already be broken down for you. This one wasn't, which made it a little bit more complicated because I actually had to label them all. But sometimes they'll already be labeled for you, and that makes it a lot easier to do. So now, a few things we can do here real quick. We're going to change these to 2 lines. So now all of them are 2 lines, but remember, some of them had 3. So you got to remember which ones had 3, and I believe this one did. So what you do to make it so all 3 lines show, because if you just do 2, only 2 of the lines are going to show, you hit right-click, go down to Themes here. This will just change the individual slide and hit 3 lines. And boom, now we have that 3rd line on there. So that's how you do that. And so now this one is all formatted. We can drag this into the playlist, and this is actually our first song. So we move it to the first, and now the first 2 songs are all ready to go. They should be formatted right. You might need to come back and check here to make sure everything there's the choruses that you need, and listen while the band is practicing to make sure that you have everything where it needs to be, that this chorus is where it's supposed to be, that if they repeat it, you might want to add it twice. And another thing you want to do for each song is you want to add transitions. So click on this little button here. This edits the transitions, and the favorite, just click dissolve. That should always be set there for you. So now there's a smoother transition between them. So that is how we edit the slides in ProPresenter. So one thing I noticed in the second song, Hark the Angel, Herald Angels Sing, and King of Heaven, is that we had all of the content we needed in here, but it wasn't arranged exactly how we needed it. So I kind of showed how we make these arrangements up here in the first song. I did the same thing here in the second song. As you can see, I made an arrangement, First Friday. And what happened is that this was the arrangement before, that there was the first verse and this chorus 1 and the second verse, but then there wasn't this chorus 1 that also needs to be there. And so I listened to the song and I noticed that that was missing, and so I just went and I dragged it there. So boom, it's there. And then also at the end here, it just ends here at this third verse, and again we need to add chorus 1 here at the end, because that's how just the song Christmas Carol, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, that's how it ends. And then also chorus 2, and actually chorus 2 is 2 parts. So that way now we actually have the whole song. Before we had all the content we needed, but you would have had to been, kind of clicking here and then, going back up here and then, going here and having to go back and forth. Instead, now you can just click through and everything should be good. Once you have all your songs in your playlist and they're all edited like they need to be, it's important to go back through and just make sure you have everything you need in here. Again, here are the welcome slides here, and in a minute I'll show you how to edit those. But just go through and just make sure you have everything matched up with the order of service, and double check to make sure this transition button is orange. That means there's a fade, so it'll actually fade here. And then make sure your arrangements are all set as they need to be. And it's really important if you're able to follow along with the band while they practice, because then you'll know, or at least ask them, are they going to repeat this chorus here? Just kind of know where they're going, because it'll do a lot as you're going through the service if you have an idea of what's next. And to have it all set up in ProPresenter ahead of time so you're not confused, oh, where am I going next? You're ready, and it'll make things run a lot more smoothly. So just go through these. So you see for this one, I got all the lines divided and the slides set up, so there's 2 lines per slide, but I forgot to apply the theme. So just again, there's the theme, and boom, we're good there. And I need to do a transition here. So again, that's how you do that. And then we're good. And of course, on Sunday we do the sermon. That's a whole different topic that you can see the manual about how to do that. But now we're good. All of this is set up. Our playlist is in order. Everything has the fade transition. Everything's broken down into the 2 lines per slide, or 3 for a couple of them, and we're good to go. We also need to make sure our welcome slide is good to go. So as you can see, we have a few different options here. I think for this Sunday we'll do one of these, and normally these will be preset. You don't have to worry about it, but I'll just show you a little tutorial. I have these backgrounds here, so I might do a little editing here, and just for fun, this will kind of give you an idea also of how ProPresenter works. So I have this blank slide here, so I want to have a welcome, what we have on these ones, the welcome, thanks for joining us, name of the church, and all that, and then the countdown on this slide. So there's a really easy way to do that. You kind of find one, okay, I want the font to look like, let's just do this one here. So I'm going to hit Control A. I'm going to click on the slide and hit Control A, and now everything is selected on the screen. And then I'm going to hit Command C to copy all that. So Command A, Command C, Control C, Control A if you're on a Windows. But this is a Mac, obviously. So and then I go back to this slide and I hit Command V. And there we go. Now everything is on here and I can edit it. I can change the font here to something that maybe matches a little bit better. And the font, all your controls for text are going to be up here. So we can change the font to something that looks a little better. And of course, if we mess with it, we might have to change the size and all that. Not that one. So now I have the font that I want, and I kind of made it a little bit smaller. And so that's all set. Now I want to edit some of this other stuff right here. You don't have to do anything with this ever. That's all set through the timer thing up here. But say we want to change the color here. We just click on this box, and you can see the color controls right here. That color is actually okay, but say we want to change it to match something on our slide. So say we want it to kind of be this green color up here. We can just go select the green color, and boom, it's the green color. So now it matches something else on there. We might want to bump it up just a little bit, something like that. And then we need to change the date. It's important to change the date. Even if this slide is all set up for you, the date might be wrong. And I have before done it with the wrong date on the live stream. So it's important to double check the date. And then you can see this here is a little bit hard to read. One thing we can do to make it easier to read, we can make this longer by just dragging it here. So it's on the edges. And that should be good. And then we can add a background that's kind of faded that makes it easier to see. The way we do that, so we click here, and then we want to have actually we want to go to shape. We want to have a fill. So go to shape, go to fill, and now you see there's a whole fill. We don't want it to look like that because that kind of looks bad. But we can match the color to the background by clicking the little eyedropper and then selecting that, and then we can change it so it's a little bit transparent. So you see this opacity thing here. Just bring that down. Actually, that controls the whole thing. I want to go here and adjust the opacity. So then now it's just adjusting that triangle. So we don't want a ton, just a little bit will do, just so it's a little bit easier to read. And then you can add a little bit of feathering here to kind of blend it in a little bit. You see how it kind of blends it so it's not so sharp. So we just blend it a little bit, and now you don't really notice it a ton, but the words are a lot easier to read than they were before. And so I think this is a good setup. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular, but now we have a slide. You can see these are kind of moving, and it's welcome, thanks for joining us, the name of our church, Sunday morning worship, December 6th, 2020. So that's how you can edit these slides if you need to. Another important thing to know how to do in ProPresenter is if we don't have a song in the library. So if it's a new song or for some reason it wasn't in the library, maybe it's a hymn that we've obviously sung before, but it was never sung since we've had the screen and everything up. So the way to do that is you need to import it into the ProPresenter 6 library. So there's a couple ways we can do this. One way to do it is just to click New Presentation, and this will create a new presentation. You give the name, hymn, you can select the size, what library. Normally we store all of our songs in this library, and then you click New. And this will create a new slide, and then you can go to Edit, and you can copy and paste text, you can type it out, but that takes a little while to type it all out, or even to copy and paste, and there's an easier way to do it. So an easier way to do it is to go back up here to File and go to Import. And so you go to Import, Song Select. This allows you to import a song. So we say the name of the song is Who Would Have Dreamed, which is a Christmas song by Sovereign Grace Worship, Who Would Have Dreamed. So to import this, you just type in the name, and then all of the options popped up. If it's a hymn, a lot of times there'll be various versions of it that people have done, and so you might have to look at them. But to look at it, you just click on it, and this gives you a preview of the song. And then you can kind of look, okay, yes, this is the right song, this is what I need. And once you're sure that it's what you need, even if maybe you have to edit a word here or there, you can hit Import. And now this brings you to this import window. And this will just affect how the slide breaks down, how the song breaks down. So you can delimit the slides by paragraph break or by line break. And that just means how it's going to split up the slides. So normally you probably want about 4 for the other computer for the screen, but for the live stream we want 2. This should break it down pretty good. If you're not sure about how the song is, you could do 4 and then break it down yourself, but this will break it down into 2. And then you just click ProPresenter 6 Library, because that's where you want it to be, 1080p size, and then hit Import. And now it's importing, and now it's in there. Now obviously you can see it doesn't look super great, but it's in there, and now we can apply our theme, and boom, we're good to go. This song, I don't know if we'll ever sing this song or anything, but it's in here and it looks pretty good. Obviously, we want to listen to it and go back to make sure it's structured right, create an arrangement. Obviously, turn on your fade transition, dissolve transition, that is, and then you're good to go. So that's how you import a song into ProPresenter. It's pretty easy. A lot of times it's actually easier than having a song that's already in there that's not formatted right yet. But that's how you import a song. Go to File, Import, Song Select, and it should be logged in. So all you just have to do is type it, and then boom, you're good to go. You have a new song in there, and you can format it as you so desire.